The last sunrise came without anyone realizing it would be the final one. People woke up, sipped their coffee, and hurried to work as the horizon glowed with its familiar brilliance. But the next morning, when the clocks chimed 6 and 7 and even 8, the world remained swallowed in blackness. At first, it was dismissed as an unusual eclipse or a strange astronomical event. Scientists filled television screens with nervous smiles, promising answers soon. But days passed, and the sun never returned. The first week was filled with denial. Cities turned their lights on permanently, flooding the endless night with artificial brightness. Neon signs flickered like makeshift stars, and governments distributed emergency fuel to keep generators humming. Farmers tried to coax crops under buzzing lamps, while children stared at the sky, waiting for the warmth that never came. Yet behind the fragile veil of normalcy, fear spread like frost. The temperature dropped degree by degree, and people began to feel winter tightening its grip. By the second month, survival became a daily calculation. Oceans grew restless, tides shifting unpredictably, as if the earth itself was confused by the absence of its guiding star. Wildlife perished in droves, birds fell silent, whales beached themselves, and forests stood like skeletal graves. Humanity gathered in clusters around artificial heat sources. Some cities collapsed into chaos, while others enforced harsh rules to maintain order. People whispered about ancient prophecies, about punishment, about the end of days. Yet in the darkness, something unexpected emerged. The night sky revealed strange lights not seen before. Among the familiar stars, new constellations seemed to bloom, shifting subtly each night as though alive. Scientists, desperate for answers, turned their telescopes upward, and what they saw silenced even the most rational minds. Massive structures, like colossal webs of light, stretched across the void. They pulsed rhythmically, not like stars, but like beacons. Some swore they could hear faint vibrations in the silence of the air, as though the earth itself resonated with the rhythm of these lights. Rumors spread that the sun had not vanished naturally, it had been taken. A message began to circulate. Faint radio signals intercepted worldwide, repeating in different languages, "You are not alone, you were never alone." Governments tried to suppress the broadcasts, calling them hoaxes, but too many had heard them. Fear mixed with awe. Humanity began to wonder, were these lights guardians, or were they the thieves of their only star? One man, Elias, an amateur astronomer who had spent his life stargazing from his countryside home, made a discovery that changed everything. He noticed that the strange beacons in the sky were not random. They were arranged in a spiral, pointing toward Earth itself, and the pulse of their glow matched something disturbingly familiar, the rhythm of a human heartbeat. The revelation spread in secret circles. Some believed the universe was alive, watching and waiting. Others whispered a darker thought that humanity itself was being studied, tested under this endless night. Religious leaders called it a trial. Scientists called it contact. But Elias felt something more personal. Every night, he heard whispers in the static of his radio, not in any language he knew, but carried with the weight of intention. The whispers grew louder until one night he finally understood a single phrase: "The experiment is almost complete." Panic surged as the whispers began reaching others. Entire cities rioted, convinced they were test subjects trapped in a cosmic cage. And then, suddenly, the strange lights in the sky began to dim, one by one, as though the beacons were closing their watchful eyes. For a fleeting moment, humanity thought this meant the sun might return. People gathered on rooftops, staring into the horizon, begging for dawn. But the sunrise never came. Instead, the beacons extinguished completely, plunging the cosmos into a darkness deeper than any night Earth had ever known. Stars themselves blinked out, as if reality was unraveling. Elias looked up one last time, his breath fogging in the freezing air, and saw the truth that shattered him. The stars had not disappeared. They had never been stars at all. They were countless windows, now closing, through which something vast and incomprehensible had been watching humanity since the beginning. The world fell silent, waiting for what would happen next. In that silence, Elias whispered the only thought left in his mind: the sun wasn't taken. It was never ours to begin with.